Semi-longish introduction incoming. This kind of topic/video won't be that often of a regular thing on here unless certain things happen. I'll distribute my and your usual fill of gaming content very soon, but this caught my attention the near instant I resolved my recent fiasco. The awareness on the matter, even though I'm in the smaller camp at the moment in size and reach on this site, should still be talked about and spread. More creators, much bigger creators, are gradually talking about this more. The more it's talked about and spread, the algorithm will spread it and notice. The more it's spread and more known via creators, viewers, and the algorithm, the gradually higher the chances rise that YouTube themselves will see this issue and quintuple quotes, might do something about it. Hi. Any newcomers to the channel, hello. How are you guys doing? I hope you're safe and healthy today and continue to be alongside older subscribers. If you're new subs and viewers from Some Ordinary Gamers or Scarce, or you just randomly came across this video all on its own, I hope you're either entertained, informed, or both by the end of it. New subscribers, I hope you're interested in Nintendo gameplay, analyses, discussions, and whatnot revolving around Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, Super Smash Bros., etc., since that's where I usually center my content around. I appreciate any support I'm given from anyone on anything revolving around my YouTube content. How you want to support your favorite creators is up to you. It's how you feel or choose. I'm not trying to boss anyone around with this, so I hope people understand where I'm coming from with what I'm about to say. But I feel like it'd be more comfortable for you to subscribe to me if you're interested in watching my content at all, you know? Again, it's your right to choose who to sub to or not. I'm not anyone's parent on here or anything. But of course, subscribing to someone for most active people on here is because they may be interested in either the creator, the content itself, or both. I hope people get where I'm coming from with this, and will understand the kind of content to expect from this channel, since I got a recent influx of new subscribers these past few days. Now that the long intro is out of the way, let's talk about the core problem you all clicked this video for. Recently, on May 18th, I've had to deal with YouTube taking down an old Yoshi Super Smash Bros. Montage I made way back in 2015. That resulted in an appeal I made for it to get instantly rejected, demonetizing my entire channel indefinitely, and a community guideline warning on my channel that will now never go away. It was removed due to breaking the Violent Criminal Organization's policy. Yet a Smash montage never tries to propagate violent criminal behavior. There was an Allahu Akbar meme for 5 seconds, a guy saying Allahu Akbar and a song accompanying it, then the sheed in the video as opposed to the rest of the 6+ minute montage. But beyond a single bad joke that didn't offend most of the 800 viewers who saw the actual montage, the montage didn't harm anyone or was any illegal propaganda. The video is gone off the website, so it's up to you to take my word for it unless you did see the video itself, but between all of my other content on the channel and me as a person and people who know me as a person, I know for a fact me and none of my videos try to promote any illegal extreme BS. I managed to regain my monetization status after constantly trying to fight tooth and nail with creator support over emails and live chat for the past 3 days until the afternoon of May 21st, where I got an email confirming my monetization reinstatement, and I checked in studio to verify. My community guideline warning is still there. I wish this situation didn't have to escalate as high as it did in my instance either. I wish it went away, but my primary concern was getting my monetization back, and reaffirming this as a potential source of income, since content creation as a career of sorts is something thousands of people achieved on this site, Twitch, and even Facebook. However, this is one of the many recent examples of the already ludicrously unfair and volatile practices and extremes YouTube takes against its creators. I am not the only creator that went through this type of ordeal. A much bigger creator by the name of Franz J went through a takedown of one of his older videos for the exact same reason and context as mine. He mentioned a type of Arabic, Middle Eastern type song in the video was the reason for the strike, just like my video, and it was also struck for promoting violent criminal organizations, just like the Yoshi montage. He moved this matter to his Twitter and got a good amount of support over the problem and managed to get the strike removed and his monetization back. I mentioned Some Ordinary Gamers earlier. Mudahar, the guy who owns that channel, had to deal with the strike on a video he made calling out scammers on YouTube, warning people about these types of scam videos in detail, but got the video taken down for quote-unquote promoting scams, despite the video was doing the exact opposite and spreading awareness and helping some poor sucker who can fall for the vast amount of these videos. He appealed it and got rejected literally 1 minute later on a 12-minute video they claimed to have carefully reviewed. despite that's physically impossible to review a 12-minute video in 60 seconds. The strike got lifted, thankfully, but he goes on to raise points on the underlying bigger picture, which I'll touch on in a bit. He made a video about his situation, he's researched and referenced other YouTubers going through very similar strikes and takedowns. Like, there's a reoccurring theme of various kinds of content, whether harmless, socially and financially helpful, or all of the above, getting wrongfully taken down and given channel guideline strikes, demonetizations, channel deletions even, etc., over false detections due to YouTube's crappy automated system. And me and the other creators I listed only scratched the surface. In this particular instance, this specific scenario, we're only talking the surface of various YouTubers losing monetization, videos, creators' rights, etc. over false, unfair takedowns. There have currently been thousands of other creators going through basically the exact same thing and fighting the exact same false strikes, automated responses, and whatnot. Now, the issue gets much clearer in why these takedowns revolving around old harmless content take place when you look at a video the Real Rejects uploaded a few days ago, a video where they dealt with, again, a very similar takedown me and France J dealt with on old content. Go check out his video for more details and his take on the matter since this started with this video, but basically, he had to keep talking with creator support over live chat on his unfair takedown of old content that was likely fair and valid to be on the platform. I'm unsure if his warning got revoked or not. I want to say he didn't, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but he had deleted that video regardless and still got the warning, which effectively meant another strike like that is going to make him unable to upload or access his channel for a week. But his conversations with the staff and creator support is what makes this troubling. The person he spoke to on the matter unveiled that even if you have content that has been deleted off the website, regardless of how old that content may be, the system can still detect it and strike you and your content even when it's gone. It could be a recent upload, it could be a video that has been on the site just fine since its inception, it could be safe, harmless, it doesn't matter what context surrounds the video or the strike and why it got struck. YouTube's system is now set to where old content and even deleted content that might have been fine and dandy on the website that many people did not mind or find harmful can now still be detected and be used to unfairly strike or take down content and channels off the website for being harmful or unsafe, despite literally no one may not even have access to that content anyways. My Yoshi montage was deleted off the platform regardless of how innocent it was. I thought and did delete multiple old videos on the channel to potentially avoid this from happening again. All of my Smash 4 montages, my super old Mario Plush videos, some other gameplay and other vids here and there, I already deleted, thinking it would help me in circumventing this from happening again and hurting my channel and passion even further. But now, despite those videos are still safe and harmless for the platform in many aspects, I promise you, despite they're literally gone, I could still get struck, or even worse can still happen to me and the channel. Real Rejects, me, the other YouTubers I mentioned, you, your favorite content creator out there on the platform, the millions of users who have been on this site for many, many years are just as at risk of getting content falsely removed for asinine reasons, and there's no way to fight against this as creators. We literally have no power in this specific matter, and I think this is all kinds of effed up. This is already disgusting when you account unfair takedowns and strikes have been a constant problem YouTubers have had to face for almost an entire decade at this point. The adpocalypse, the COPPA stuff, copyright abuse, various random channel demonetizations and takedowns that have been rampant for a while. I Hate Everything is one example, among tens of thousands of other creators. YouTube changing monetization rules to where you need 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours to be invited to the partner program and enable monetization. The appeal system that actively rejects them in mere minutes, giving creators no room to fight back, defend themselves, and punishes them even more for trying to stand up for themselves. This constant lack of transparent communication between creator support and the creators themselves. Recently, YouTube putting ads on videos and channels regardless of whether or not you qualify for the partner program, so they're still making even more money. And now the fact YouTube is going to magnify these unfair strikes and takedowns on content people and creators themselves can't even find on the website anymore, with already such tiny wiggle room to get it resolved. There's been this history of YouTube constantly changing guidelines and standards, so often and often to the detriment of creators, constantly battling creators with insanely broken and crappy automated systems, poorly handling content detection and management, striking a bunch of fair and safe content for no reason, and letting AI handle a lot of the work while ignoring their creators and getting away with punishing a lot of people's livelihoods and careers, and almost nothing is done about these a majority of the time, if not taking absurd amounts of time to get them fixed normally. The automated system system is already so stupidly bad for creators, given AI cannot detect nuance or context in the vast majority of these cases. The meme in the Yoshi montage was probably detected by that bot. The few seconds out of the full 6.5 minutes was probably enough for the bot to deem it terrorist propaganda, despite that's the furthest thing from the truth. The worst you could reprimand the montage in that specific video only was a tasteless joke, ignoring the actual montage itself. But those kinds of edgy jokes, that level of edgy and dark humor, took form in so many different videos on this website years ago. Standards, guidelines, and content detection was dramatically different that it's asinine to me YouTube's now taking action against various content on the site, regardless of the nuance or context surrounding it, that it's taking such abrupt and extreme measures to punish creators without any sort of warning, heads up, or general disclosure. It's adding a significant amount of volatility to a platform that already is suffering incredibly from volatility, the size of a skyscraper and a half, when creators already have to accept the vast amount of risks and inane, abrupt decisions YouTube thrusts onto its creators. Like, there's no point in trying to strike channels over content they deleted that they deem unsafe. It's not like anyone's gonna find said unsafe content or harmful content if there's no one to harm when it's gone. Like, there's no point or reason for this, especially when old content like that was completely fine for this website until these constant, one-sided guideline changes and standards took effect, and YouTube still continues pushing its corporate side, making it harder and harder, only for change to take effect when people call out YouTube for it on Twitter. And that right there is my biggest issue with this. To get YouTube's attention on anything they did wrong or flawed, you essentially have to borderline cancel them on Twitter to get them to fix their mistakes. You don't constantly hound them on creator support chats. You don't continuously reply or outline your reasoning in your appeals and emails. None of that works 90% of the time. To get any solution or progress at all, you need some kind of following or traction on Twitter over the matter to get them to actually look at the problem. Every single person I listed posted their dilemmas on Twitter, got traction in some manner, and got their problems fixed. Some ordinary gamers, Mudahar, he tweeted at YouTube, got tens of thousands of likes and retweets, and YouTube mentioned how it was a mistake. France J tweeted it, and over 12 hours later, YouTube's all, uh-oh, we made a stinky by accident, we're so sorry, and reversed their decision. Me, I would not stop hounding YouTube in any of the places to go to resolve these issues, but nowhere did I get any progress or solution until Twitter. The people in support chat continuously referred me to the policy, were telling me to be mindful of the content I post, how the strike and demonetization was valid, etc., all in dry cut, robotic business speak, making it sound like they knew what they were doing and they carefully checked the content that was struck, when it's almost guaranteed they never did and let their AI do all the work. I have no reason to believe every individual person I spoke to knew the context or problem between my strike and the aforementioned creator strike. Please refer to our policies. We don't allow shock or extremism. We believe it's a correct and valid strike, without giving any sort of context or specifics as to how a Yoshi montage is extremism. Almost every single response I got from YouTube was exactly like this, and most creators on this entire platform have to deal exactly with this robotic, vague, ignorant rhetoric from YouTube support whenever they screw up. Mudahar's video that got struck, a 12-minute video. It literally got its appeal rejected 1 minute, 60 seconds after the appeal was sent, claiming it was carefully reviewed. Anyone who's passed basic first grade math can easily tell that no human actually reviewed that video in 1 minute. A bot did. Most of these conversations that creators have with support heavily imply the people they're talking to are also AI if they're all regurgitating to many creators a lot of the same automated jargon without any context or reasoning justifying the strikes other than constant policy referral. Not to mention you have so much content on the website promoting sex, abusing children, abusing animals, eating live animals, scams, etc. Actual problematic content that when content like scam exposés that keep people safe from them, or a random Yoshi montage with one really short, edgy, outdated meme are the ones targeted as unsafe, or YouTube's now targeting deleted content people can't even find anymore, that they're literally unaffected, there's obviously something wrong here. There's so much favoring the idea there's a severe lack of human moderation going on at YouTube, with content IDs and takedowns amongst a slew of them being innocent. The lack of transparency and open communication between creators and YouTube moderators is the crux to so much conflict between the two parties. And the kicker to all of this is not only does any sort of palpable human connection get verified and done via a website completely separate from the branch of their site meant to solve this exact problem, your size above all else matters. Of the YouTubers I named that I had to deal with these, France J, Some Ordinary Gamers, etc., I'm the smallest in that bunch. Bigger channels can worry less if they have the channels and followings the size of Critical, Some Ordinary Gamers, Markiplier, PewDiePie, Dashy Games, Logan or Jake Pauls, etc., where they have millions of fans, if not at least several hundred thousand, to make YouTube notice. But my channel has sat around 22,000 subscribers for over a year at this point, and I still had to struggle to get their attention. All these creators got most of their matters resolved within a day max, because they caused a ruckus on Twitter for YouTube to catch it. A few starting after I started, I still had to fight YouTube over it for 3 days, for several thousand people to spread the problem on Twitter. Even massive creators like Some Ordinary Gamers and Scarce to reach out and talk about it, for YouTube to reply to my tweet telling me the warning's valid, despite I can still easily argue otherwise. But, as always, the demonetization was a mistake. A ton of creators don't have the luxury of trying to get bigger creators' attentions to assist them in fixing a problem YouTube created for them. If your dilemma doesn't get a lot of traction or thousands of tweets and likes, you're basically screwed. There have been loads of creators I didn't even mention that dealt with their content and channels taken down for ignorant bullock reasons for years now, and that number's only going to rise with all these changes taking effect. Imagine how screwed anyone under 10,000 subscribers are. People above that are still not secure to any major degree either. That shouldn't be like that at all. Any creator of any size deserves an equal amount of peer review and attention whenever they face a problem like this. Not on how heavily flawed the automated system is, to where YouTube needs to overhaul their management system and policies, their broken ass content management, their appeal system, their 3-strike system, their creator support, any future changes in policy guidelines without many, if any, creators' input or involvement. Like, YouTube's insanely big that even when people question just moving to a different platform, that's not feasible given how YouTube is the biggest video sharing website on the whole internet, and every single competitor besides debatably Twitch, which has its own treasure trove of problems and controversies, just doesn't stack up in comparison. But it's astronomically depressing when a site actively tries to screw over creators constantly until either bigger creators on the platform or thousands of people call YouTube out on it on a separate website. Granted, not only did COVID screw over YouTube's HQ last year, Team YouTube, the account on Twitter, seems to be some of the only decently human moderated creator support groups of YouTube, because you can only solve your problems when you're making a storm on Twitter. Problem is, it's a mix of several people in charge of public posting, and then another big team charged with dealing with creator inquiries on Twitter, on top of these people doing these across various languages. It's multiple departments basically, receiving their feedback and inquiries from creators, all from one source that isn't on their website, and the email creator support and likely chat support, it's all automated bots with actual human staff aware of how bad their system is, but we're stuck with the limited organization and structure. They had to only back up all the inquiries they got. How I know all this, I'll elaborate in a second. Any sort of solution to this would sound hunky-dory for everyone involved, but what kind, you may ask? One that doesn't rely on Twitter clout. Mudahar hypothesized a solution along the lines of an app where selective people on there are given the option to review many flagged videos and properly detect actual problematic content, and they get paid a cut of YouTube's earnings for properly moderating the platform. Plus, they make literal billions of dollars, so they can likely spare some extra change. An expansion to that idea is potentially get other content creators in on it, whether an app or some extra service creators can apply to. Of course, some selection process or test can occur to know the creator means well and will detect faulty content, but that would heighten the connection between the company and creators. The closest thing we have right now is this Discord server called Discord Creators. I just found out about this while making the script, thanks to Sparta Yoshi. Shout out to Sparta Yoshi. Go follow his Twitter and or YouTube. Insanely kind and understanding guy. He explained to me all the Team YouTube stuff I mentioned like a minute ago, and enlightened me what I'm about to enlighten to all of you. Supposedly, Mr. Beast, another massive creator on the platform, was in the talks with one of the employees behind YouTube's partner program and other creators a while back, and wanted to make a Discord server dubbed Discord Creators, in which creators can talk, generate assistance in content, analytics, collaborations, etc., but especially in getting proper human assistance from YouTube staff among actual employees and YouTube creators alike. I was told of many creators in it getting false takedowns, hijackings and whatnot, resolved relatively quickly depending on the problem, but this has served many creators well, and the people involved genuinely seem well-informed, competent, and well-intentioned. Obviously, a single Discord server is still incredibly limited and closed off in the grand scheme. Not everyone on the platform has access to Discord. Forget this currently private server, and this is specifically a server for those involved in the industry who need the support and assistance. But practically every creator involved in there who has had to deal with all these issues I described got a lot of them solved and fixed. Like YouTube human staff is in there, Twitch staff, Google staff, Discord staff, some CEOs and managers and whatnot. Actual real people that can literally help a ton of these dilemmas a lot of these content creators are facing. TJ Toons, for example, got his channel hijacked and was then recovered a few weeks later, for example. Again, limited reach given it's a private Discord server, but the fact there's a bunch of big people in here resolving these creators' troubles seemingly effectively and understandably, the fact there's such a diverse range of creator support here, even beyond YouTube, there are actual people doing stuff for these creators. There's all this open, transparent communication and common ground that the main support branch is in desperate need of, feels incredibly reassuring to me. These are actual people with hearts that are trying to help the people behind what's making their website grow, and they've been actually amending big and small creators' problems alike. This especially can go a long way for the little guys out there. The smaller YouTubers desperately need to know about the server. It's likely not the end-all be-all to this entire dilemma, again, a Discord server, but it is a legitimate start to a silver lining that olive branch content creators on YouTube really need right now. And again, I cannot understate the smaller creators out there going through these troubles. They could really use this help right now. And the fact that employees themselves want to figure out a solution / workaround to this problem really shows that maybe there is some hope for creators in the platform. Maybe. Only time will tell, but that's why awareness on the entire YouTube versus creators conflict, awareness on this server and its meaning and growth, especially for smaller creators out there, matters a lot, and why I made this video to begin with. We all know the system needs a big overhaul. It needs more organization and human moderation on more fronts than just on Twitter. Some big changes need to be addressed and considered if the platform wants to subside any more controversy and animosity towards it. And a Discord server that's continuing and searching for creators who need these troubles fixed is at least one relatively major step in the right direction, I feel. It'll at least serve as a proper bridge for small creators and creators who don't need to rely on Twitter to make an effective change. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all when I upload my usual gaming shtick. Stay super.
Yo, hey, 妹妹，嘿，我来呀！共和大泡泡呀！拉面，嘿，来面，海哥面，共和再见呀！哈哈，拉面，上手面，谢谢。